Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. I was talking to someone the other day and they were not happy with what they were doing in life, and I said, well, if you had any choice in the matter and you could choose anything, what would you choose? And that person really didn't know. So how is Great Spirit, God, the universe supposed to help us if we don't know ourselves? We need to explore and find out what that is. I think a lot of times we're just a little afraid that if we choose something that doesn't work out, then we feel like we're a failure. We have to fail a lot of times in order to find what we really love doing. And I know if we really work at something from our heart, it really shows on our work. Yeah, I know a lot of great painters and sculptors. They don't make a lot of money, but boy, are they happy. They are truly happy with themselves and what they were doing, and they feel deeply fulfilled deep down inside. Now, how many of us can feel that deep fulfillment deep down inside? I think that's really, really important. I think a lot of people just go to work and wake up and go through the cycle of having dinner and getting up again and just doing what we need to do to make money, but we never feel that fulfillment of something that we love deep down inside. And when we feel that fulfillment in our heart, that's God telling us, man, this is good, this is great, this is wonderful. Then God is residing there and He's talking to us and saying, wow, this makes me feel alive. I feel good because of this. And I think that a lot of times we're just a little too stuck on the money issue to connect with that. Oh, money is important, there's no doubt about that. But sometimes the people who feel the most fulfilled in life don't make a lot of money. I think that we need to reconnect with that and understand that from a deep place. Now, if we are living somewhere also and it was really not where we want to be, maybe it's time to make a move. If you're a person who loves the ocean and you're sitting in the middle of a desert and you really need that connection to the ocean, maybe it's really important to be there. If you're a person who loves the desert but you're sitting next to the ocean all the time, maybe you need to move to the desert. Some of those types of things are really important to make us feel good deep down inside. And we take them for granted, It may even be a past life thing where we feel connected to giant sequoias, and we need to be out there in the forest. And I can tell you one thing, for me to be in a huge grove of sequoias and look up and feel so small, it is an amazing thing. And I just love being in the forest myself, or being on the Pacific coast. That's wonderful. So allow yourself to find that which makes you feel alive. And I think in this day and age, we're a lot of times afraid to even answer the question, what makes me feel alive? Because if we get an answer, then we know we're committed to do something about it. And then we know that we may have a dilemma because we are caught between a rock and a hard place, because we have to make some changes in our life. But change is always good. Change is great. It doesn't mean you have to move completely. Maybe just taking some time to be in those particular spots every year would be good. Or to make a change in the way you do your work. maybe doing the other kind of work part-time, that is something that you love, or making it a huge hobby. I've known people who started hobbies and it ended up being their work because they loved it so much and they gave up their other job. This is about allowing God to thrive in our life, allowing God to flourish and become the one that we really are deep down inside, and not suppressing that, who we are deep down inside. And the more we suppress it, the more we push it down, the more bodily things that we have go wrong with us inside. We end up with high blood pressure, and anxiety, and cardiovascular disease, and all kinds of things. And because we are really not feeling joy inside, we end up with depression and sadness, and life is passionless. So I ask you, ask that question, what makes me feel alive inside? And what would I do if I had a choice to choose anything right now? That takes a lot of guts to answer that, especially to write it down and say, this is really what I would like to do. But the most amount of guts comes when we actually make the change. But it can be done. And I am praying for you that you will be able to make that change and do what you really want to do, whatever that should be. I love you.